Hello there. We are in the round 5 of the Rabac Open over the board tournament, and this game I'm about to show you is the shortest game I have played over the board on the longer long time controls, so classical games. And well, as just a short introduction, to make a long story short, I seriously violated some opening principles. I thought I could get away with it, but I was severely and rightfully punished for doing so. So I will show you the game and also the point. So my opponent, as you can see, he's a 1700 plus player. So I was expecting an interesting game, but yeah, it was a very short game. He opened e4. I responded with e5, and we went, like all the games in this tournament, to Petrov, so knight f6. He went for kind of main line, he took, I played d6, he went back, I took the pawn, so this is all typical stuff, and now he played knight c3. It's interesting that I have faced 3 times, I think I played three times in this tournament. I play Petrov defense, and all 3 times I got this variation. So I guess it's popular. I mean, here there are plenty of other ways to play. You can play with pawn here, you can develop the bishop, you can castle even, and so on. But okay, knight to c3, knight takes c3, he took, and now I play this flexible move, knight c6, so I'm not sure how will the game continue. Does he want to castle long or short? So I just keep it flexible. This knight belongs on c3 no matter what. As you remember from the round 1, I think the best move according to engine and theory is bishop e7 here, and then probably castle short and suffer the attack if he wants to attack. But okay, this is also one way to play. Knight to c6, bishop to e3. Okay, now I realize that he wants to attack this way. And if you remember, I had this exact position in the round 1, and in the round 1 I went for I went like, I think, bishop e6, bishop e7, and then I castled short. I didn't want to castle long because I was afraid of this pin. So if I play bishop here, queen here, then he can pin. But then later on I looked and I saw that there is nothing to be afraid about this pin, because I mean, even if he takes and I double the pawns, it doesn't matter so much. It will not give him an attack. So I wanted to try out in this game. I wanted to try out this variation. So I went bishop e6. He played queen d2. By the way, if you remember, this bishop e6 move is not a good move. I said it after in the analysis of the round 1. Bishop actually belongs to f5, because after bishop e6 he can do some stuff with knight g5. So this is also not a good move. But okay, queen to d2, queen to d7, castled long. So this is how I decided to handle this position. He developed the bishop to d3. Okay, and this is when where the trouble begins. So let's remind ourselves of the opening principles. Develop your pieces quickly. Don't play with the same move twice. Don't go and do stuff before you completed your development. To complete development means to connect the rooks and so forth. So according to all these principles, I should have played here bishop to e7. So this should be played, bishop e7. I have now connected the rooks, all my pieces are developed, and only now I can think about how to do stuff. But here I realized this, of course, over the board, but I thought maybe I have a chance here. So instead of completing development, I played knight to e5, violating all the opening principles. So I'm playing twice with the same piece. And the idea is following. I saw 3 scenarios here. Either he will let me take the bishop, and then I will win the bishop pair. So this is scenario 1. Or he will do something else. Let's say play rook here. Then I can take the knight and damage his structure. You can see that my king is not here, so I am not afraid of opening g file. So this is second scenario. A third scenario, which is, so if he takes the knight, then I take the knight back, and now I have a structural advantage because I have this majority, if you remember my analysis of the game 1. So I have the king side majority, and he doesn't because he has this double pawn. So if you imagine this position with all the pieces of the board except pawns, I will be the one winning, because theoretically I can create passed pawn and he cannot. So this is, and also, yeah, here I'll be ready maybe to exchange queens and go to the endgame sooner. So this was my rationale, and this is why I play knight to e5, and this is not a lost move in itself, but it creates a mentality which is not correct. So of course the third scenario is for him to defend the knight, and then this is what he did. So the fourth scenario, sorry, and that will be this bishop to e2 move, protecting the knight. But now, when I was thinking about this here, I thought, okay, this is the waste of tempo, and move backward. So here he moved the bishop on d3, and now he has to bring the bishop back, and the bishop becomes more passive. So I thought it's win-win-win anyway. So knight e5, and he retreated the bishop, protecting the knight. And now, instead of saying, okay, I did what I wanted to achieve, he underdeveloped, let's now continue our development. So I had this one last chance to stay faithful to the opening principles. Instead, I thought, well, look at this. If I play knight to c4, I'm forking this queen and the bishop. So he has to give up a bishop pair. Even if he takes the knight, I will take with the bishop, and again I won the bishop pair. So I decided to go for it, and I made here I made an error in calculation. In fact, I evaluated the golden rule of calculation, which says you should always, which states you should always end the calculation on your opponent's move and not on your move. So my calculation was as goes. So knight to c4. If he takes, I will take back, and the calculation is over. I didn't calculate, okay, but now it's my opponent's turn. So this is why I made this video about thinking algorithm, and I stated this golden rule of calculation, which I violated here. So not only I violated opening principles, but I violated the golden rule of calculation. So I did play knight to c4. He took the knight, I took back, and I thought, okay, great, I won the bishop pair. But unfortunately now it's his turn, and he has this very strong move, queen to d4. And now you can see that he's hitting my undefended piece, and he's also hitting my pawn here. So what was I to do? Well, I had to accept that I'm down a pawn, and play some move like moving away the queen. For example, queen b5 is probably the best move here. So allow him to take the pawn. And now I have the escape square, so this will not be the checkmate, and just play with the pawn down. Instead, I was I was considering other possibilities. So I wanted to create some kind of counterplay. So I came up with the move this queen to c6, thinking that maybe if he takes, I can maybe go with bishop e2, hitting the rook and hitting the knight. If he moves the knight, then maybe I can take this pawn. So this was the rationale. Okay, and now before I show you the continuation of the game, this is a useful exercise, so I would invite you to pause the video now and try to find the best move for white here in this position. Okay, so I will now tell you the move, and how could I have seen this move if I have followed my thinking algorithm. So how does the blunder check look like? First question you should ask yourself before moving the piece is, can my piece be captured or harassed? So if I want to play queen to c6, like as a candidate move, the question is, can it be captured? No. Can it be harassed, attacked? And the question is yes. So knight e5 attacks the queen. And at the same time, I cannot capture because my rook will be undefended, or it will be attacked twice and defended only once. So this is what I missed, and I lost the game immediately. So I played queen to c6, and I was thinking, okay, it will be an interesting game, and then suddenly he played a knight to e5. And now I just resigned the game. I mean, it's over. I cannot do anything. I mean, he's threatening so many things. So he's threatening to take this. He's threatening to take the queen. There is no way I can protect everything. He's also attacking my bishop twice. So yeah, it's game over. So you can see how I paid the price because my rooks were not connected. So the moral of the story here is don't go and do some stuff in the position before you connected your rooks, before you completed your development. So for example, if my bishop was here, then I wouldn't have any problems. First of all, he couldn't be able to play even e5 because I would just take, because the one rook is protecting the other rook. And yeah. Anyway, very nice move by my opponent. I mean, he found this strong move. I didn't see it. I didn't consider it. I didn't ask the right questions. So yes, very short but very instructive game. It's only 14 moves, and yeah, the lessons are clear. Don't violate opening principles. Don't violate the golden rule of calculation. Do blunder check before you make a move. Ask yourself, can my piece be attacked or harassed? Okay, thank you very much for watching. This was short. I lost the game. I still have now in the tournament 1.5 points, and I'm headed to round 6, which I will show you in the next video. If you like the video, click the like button, subscribe to my channel if you didn't, leave the comment below, support the channel, and I will see you soon with more chess. Cheers.